the dizzying heights of stardom can often lead to a downfall, as some of R&B's most beloved stars just discovered it the hard way. Join us as we explore the list of 15 R&B stars who became drug addicts and their end. Number 1. Whitney Houston. On March 22, 2012, the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office announced that Whitney Houston's demise was attributed to drowning, compounded by the effects of atherosclerotic heart disease and substance consumption. The findings indicated that the concentration of the illegal substance present in her system suggested recent use before her passing. They also conducted a toxicological analysis, which identified the presence of additional substances, including diphenhydramine, commonly known as Benadryl, alprazolam, Xanax, a powerful tranquilizer, classified within the trizolobenzodiazepine family, cannabis, and cyclobenzaprine flexeril. The official classification of her death was determined to be an accident, which might not be true. Whitney Elizabeth Houston was a prominent American singer, actress, film producer, and philanthropist. She was often referred to as the Voice, making her rank so high among the most decorated entertainers. Not just that, she is recognized as one of the best-selling music artists in history, with global record sales exceeding 220 million. Houston's ability to appeal across various music genres and her impactful performances played a significant role in dismantling gender and racial barriers, as well as shaping popular culture. Renowned for her exceptional vocal prowess and unique timbre, Rolling Stone placed Houston as the second greatest singer of all time. Her life and professional journey have been extensively documented in numerous films and television specials. Biographical accounts of Houston's early years indicate that she and her brother were reportedly subjected to harassment by a relative during their childhood, an incident that was subsequently concealed. Experiencing trauma in childhood significantly heightens the likelihood of developing substance abuse issues later in life. The absence of therapeutic intervention during her formative years, coupled with her failure to disclose the abuse to her mother, likely resulted in profound, unresolved emotional turmoil stemming from her traumatic experiences. Moreover, the impact of trauma extended beyond her childhood. Individuals in her inner circle have disclosed that negative feedback regarding her public persona contributed to feelings of vulnerability and discouragement. Houston frequently faced accusations from the African American community of whitewashing her identity through her image and professional decisions. Yes, the list just started, but stay glued to your screen because the next people on this list will shock you. Number 2, Bobby Brown. In his youth, Brown received a diagnosis of attention deficit disorder, and at the age of 32 was later diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He acknowledged that marijuana was his preferred substance and that he had succumbed to alcoholism at a young age. Brown admitted to a lifelong history of substance use before his relationship with Whitney Houston, stating, "I never used cocaine until after I met Whitney. Before then, I had experimented with other substances, but marijuana was my substance of choice." Throughout the 1990s, his substance abuse escalated, culminating in instances where he was involved in the preparation of cocaine and the use of heroin. In 1993, former gang member David Collins recounted an incident in which Brown was abducted by the Preacher Crew, a street gang in New York, due to a $25,000 illegal substance-related debt. Houston intervened by paying a ransom of $400,000 to the gang, who had threatened Brown's life. This event was never disclosed to law enforcement authorities. Robert Beresford Brown Sr., which was his original name, was born on February 5, 1969, is a prominent American singer and rapper. He is recognized as a key figure in the development of new jack swing, a genre that blends elements of hip-hop and R&B, particularly through his collaborations with Teddy Riley. Brown began his musical journey as a member of the R&B and pop ensemble New Edition, participating from the group's formation in 1978 until his departure in December 1985. Number 3, Rick James, James Ambrose. Johnson Jr., widely recognized by his stage name Rick James, was an influential American singer, songwriter, and record producer. He was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, where he initiated his musical journey during his adolescence. Before his military service, he participated in several bands, but later enlisted in the United States Navy Reserve to evade conscription into the Army. In 1964, he relocated to Toronto, Canada, where he established the rock band the Mina Birds, which secured a recording contract with Motown Records in 1966. However, his career with the band was abruptly interrupted when military officials located him and charged him with desertion, resulting in a period of incarceration. After his release, James moved to California, where he formed various rock and funk ensembles during the late 1960s and early 1970s. James passed away due to pulmonary and cardiac failure, which were linked to his pre-existing health issues, including diabetes, a stroke, the presence of a pacemaker, and a previous heart attack. The autopsy revealed the presence of several substances in his bloodstream, including alprazolam, diazepam, bupropion, citalopram, hydrocodone, digoxin, chlorpheniramine, methamphetamine, and cocaine. Nevertheless, the coroner indicated that none of the substance combinations were found to be at levels that were life-threatening in and of themselves. You're enjoying it, right? The next one will keep you thrilled. Number 4, Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse, renowned for her distinctive vocal style that characterized the iconic album Back to Black, tragically passed away on July 23, 2011. Her death came after 5 years devoid of new musical releases, leaving a profound silence in the wake of her absence. At the age of 27, her premature demise, due to addiction, positioned her among the notorious 27 Club, a melancholic grouping that highlights the tragic fates of gifted young artists. From an early age, Amy Winehouse demonstrated a resolute rebelliousness, steadfast in her commitment to forge her path. Even in her childhood, she displayed remarkable willfulness and defiance. Following the dissolution of her parents' marriage, she asserted her autonomy by embellishing her body with tattoos, experimenting with marijuana, and frequently neglecting her educational responsibilities. Her singular aspiration was to become a musician, channeling her innermost feelings into the creation of profoundly personal lyrics, while performing passionately throughout her cherished London. Her distinctive artistry, a blend of jazz influences and soulful vocal expression, quickly garnered the interest of Island Records. Throughout her life, Winehouse faced significant challenges related to mental health, grappling with bulimia and dependencies on both illegal substances and alcohol. She sought treatment in rehabilitation facilities multiple times before her untimely death in 2011. Number 5, Marvin Gaye. Marvin Pence Gaye Jr. was a prominent American singer, songwriter, and musician known for his contributions to the genres of soul and R&B. He played a crucial role in defining the Motown sound during the 1960s, initially serving as a session musician and subsequently achieving solo success that led to his being referred to as the Prince of Motown and the Prince of Soul. Among Gaye's notable Motown hits are Ain't That Peculiar, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, and I Heard It Through the Grapevine. He also collaborated on duets with artists such as Mary Wells, Kim Weston, Tammy Terrell, and Diana Ross. In the 1970s, Gaye released influential albums, including What's Going On in 1971 and Let's Get It in 1973, becoming one of the first Motown artists to assert creative independence from the production company. Marvin Gaye's paranoia can be attributed to a childhood characterized by abuse and a pervasive sense of mistrust. However, a significant contributing factor was his extensive substance use. According to the New York Times, Gaye was well acquainted with narcotics, having begun his substance use in the early 1960s while recording his first studio albums. His dependency on the substance escalated throughout the 1970s, during which he also experimented with PCP. As noted by Ebony, Gay combined engaging with religious texts and using cocaine, a juxtaposition that reflects a complex approach to self-soothing. Had his struggles been limited solely to illegal substance addiction, he might have found a way to endure. However, Gay was also confronted with profound personal challenges. By 1983, he had attempted to kill himself twice, one of which involved consuming an ounce of cocaine within a single hour. Number 6. Teen Marie. Mary Christine Brockert, who lived from March 5, 1956 to December 26, 2010, is recognized in the music industry as Tina Marie, an accomplished American soul and R&B singer, songwriter, and producer. At first, she went by the childhood nickname Tina before adopting the stage name Tina Marie. Additionally, she was affectionately referred to as Lady T, a moniker bestowed upon her by her collaborator and friend Rick James. Tina Marie was celebrated for her unique and powerful soprano voice, which often led audiences to mistakenly assume she was of African American descent. Her dedication to the R&B and soul genres, coupled with her significant contributions to these musical styles, earned her the esteemed title of the Ivory Queen of Soul. In addition to her vocal talents, she was proficient in playing rhythm guitar, keyboards, and congas. Throughout her career, Tina Marie received 4 nominations for the Grammy Award. In the 1980s, she signed with Epic Records, achieving notable success with tracks such as Lover Girl and Ooh La La La. However, her enduring musical influence is primarily attributed to her tenure with Motown. Despite the challenges that she faced, she remained active in the music industry, releasing 2 critically acclaimed albums, La Donna and Sapphire, under the esteemed Cash Money Records label in 2004 and 2006, respectively. The passing of James, who shared both a romantic relationship and a long-standing friendship with her, in 2004, profoundly affected her. Following his death, she revealed that she struggled with an addiction to Vicodin, a medication she had taken for pain relief, for approximately 1 year. Nevertheless, Marie stated that she successfully overcame this addiction. In 2008, she expressed her enthusiasm about receiving recognition from the R&B Foundation. The next person on the list will shock you. Number 7. David Ruffin. Renowned for his distinctive raspy and emotive tenor voice, Ruffin was recognized as one of the 100 greatest singers of all time by Rolling Stone magazine in both 2008 and 2023. He received induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1989, honoring his contributions to the Temptations. Marvin Gaye, a fellow artist from Motown, expressed admiration for Ruffin, stating, "I heard in his voice a strength my voice lacked." Ruffin was born Davis Eli Ruffin on January 18, 1941, in the rural, unincorporated area of Wynot, Mississippi, located 15 miles southeast of Meridian. He was the 3rd son of Elias Eli Ruffin, a Baptist minister, and Ophelia Ruffin. His siblings included Quincy B. Ruffin, Rita Mae Ruffin, and Jimmy Lee Ruffin, along with another sister, Rosine, who tragically passed away in infancy. After a successful month-long tour of England alongside Kendricks and Edwards, Ruffin tragically passed away on June 1, 1991, due to an accidental overdose of crack cocaine. Reports indicate that he collapsed at a crack house in West Philadelphia, where he had accompanied his friend, Donald Brown, as per the authorities. Brown subsequently transported Ruffin to the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania, where he was pronounced dead at 3:55 a.m. that morning, attributed to an adverse reaction to illegal substances after emergency room staff endeavored for nearly an hour to resuscitate him. The Associated Press disclosed that Ruffin and an individual named William Nowell had consumed 10 vials of crack cocaine at Nowell's residence in West Philadelphia just hours before his death. While the official ruling classified the cause of death as accidental, Ruffin's family and friends expressed suspicions of foul play, noting the absence of a money belt containing $40,000 from his purse. Number 8. Sam Cooke. Samuel Cooke was a prominent American singer and songwriter. Regarded as one of the most significant figures in the history of soul music, Cooke is often celebrated as the King of Soul due to his unique vocal style, groundbreaking contributions to the genre, and his impact on popular music as a whole. Throughout his 8-year career, he achieved remarkable success, with 29 singles reaching the top 40 of the Billboard Pop Singles chart and 20 singles making it into the top 10 of Billboard's Black Singles chart. Tragically, in 1964, Cooke was fatally shot by a motel manager in Los Angeles. Following an inquest and subsequent investigation, the courts determined that his death was a justifiable homicide. However, his family has raised questions regarding the circumstances surrounding his passing. Cooke was also recognized in Billboard's 2015 compilation of the 35 greatest R&B artists of all time. Number 9. Donny Hathaway. Donny Edward Hathaway was a prominent and respected American soul artist, recognized for his multifaceted talents as a singer, keyboardist, songwriter, backing vocalist, and arranger. Rolling Stone has referred to him as a soul legend. Among his most acclaimed works are The Ghetto, This Christmas, Someday We'll All Be Free, and Little Ghetto Boy. Hathaway is also celebrated for his interpretations of A Song for You, For All We Know, and I Love You More Than You'll Ever Know, as well as his collaborative efforts with Roberta Flack, which include notable tracks such as Where Is the Love and The Closer I Get to You. At the height of his professional success, Hathaway began to suffer from significant episodes of depression and displayed erratic behavior. In 1971, he received a diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia, leading to the prescription of multiple medications. At one point, he was taking as many as 14 different substances, administered twice daily. Following his diagnosis and the initiation of treatment, Hathaway's mental health showed signs of improvement. However, Eulalia Hathaway noted that her father became increasingly neglectful of his medication regimen as he started to feel better, often discontinuing his prescriptions entirely. Between 1973 and 1977, Hathaway's mental health challenges severely impacted both his personal life and career, necessitating multiple hospital stays. The repercussions of his depression and pronounced mood fluctuations also strained his friendship with Flack, resulting in a prolonged period of estrangement. It was not until the successful release of The Closer I Get to You in 1978 that they reconciled and resumed their collaborative efforts in the studio to create a second album of duets. Number 10. A.I. Green, Albert Leorns. Green was born on April 13, 1946, and professionally recognized as Al Green. He is an American artist celebrated for his contributions as a singer, songwriter, pastor, and record producer. He gained prominence in the early 1970s with a series of soul classics, including Take Me to the River, Tired of Being Alone, I'm Still in Love with You, Love and Happiness, and his iconic track, Let's Stay Together. After the tragic part of his life, where his girlfriend took her own life, Green was ordained as a pastor and shifted his focus to gospel music, although he eventually made a return to the secular music scene. Shortly thereafter, he embarked on his aspiration to become a professional soul singer, drawing inspiration from icons such as Jackie Wilson and Sam Cooke, while concurrently becoming familiar with the allure of substances and intimate encounters. After enduring a modest level of local success in the late 1960s, Green collaborated with Willie Mitchell to cultivate his unique and remarkably beautiful vocal style. By the early 1970s, this distinctive sound, a stunning, nuanced form of soul music that is rooted in the gospel, yet resonates with secular themes, propelled Al Green to significant commercial success in the pop music arena. His triumph can be attributed in part to his smooth, honeyed vocals that effortlessly soared over rich grooves, enhanced by brass and string arrangements. However, it was not solely the music that captivated audiences. Green's striking physical appearance, which was athletic, lean, and adorned with a radiant smile, further intensified the allure of his performances. Experiencing Al Green's singing was synonymous with feeling an intense longing. His albums achieved both commercial acclaim and critical recognition, with hits such as Let's Stay Together, Love and Happiness, and Tired of Being Alone, standing out as some of the most exquisite soul tracks ever produced. Amid this acclaim, Green was also known for his tumultuous relationships with women and his struggles with substance abuse. In 1974, a tragic incident occurred when his girlfriend inflicted burns upon him with hot grits before taking her own life, leading to his hospitalization. Number 11. Tina Turner. Tina Turner, originally named Anna Mae Bullock, was born on November 26, 1939, and passed away on May 24, 2023. She was a renowned singer, songwriter, and actress, often referred to as the Queen of Rock and Roll. Turner gained fame as the lead vocalist of the musical duo Ike and Tina Turner, subsequently establishing a highly successful solo career. The renowned vocalist, now 78 years old, entered into matrimony with the late Ike, a man infamous for his abusive behavior, substance addiction, and repeated infidelities in 1962 at the age of 22. She endured prolonged periods of both emotional and physical maltreatment throughout their union. 7 years post-marriage, she ingested 50 sleeping pills that had been prescribed by her physician. Reflecting on the reasons behind her breakdown, on an ordinary day in 1968, she recounts, "At that moment, there were 3 women present in the house, and Ike was engaging in intimate relations with all of them. All 3 shared the name Ann, which meant he only needed to remember a single name." She also stated in an interview that her sense of self-worth, her confidence, and her entire existence were all in decline. So one evening, just before one of her performances, she reached her breaking point, which caused her to consume 50 sleeping pills. It was noted that the effects of the pills began to manifest while she was applying her makeup for the show, rather than after the first song, as she had intended, allowing Ike to still collect his payment. Ultimately, Tina was swiftly transported to the hospital, where her stomach was flushed. Who do you know will be the last person on this list? Continue watching to know if you guessed right. Number 12. Sly Stone. Sylvester Stewart, born on March 15, 1943, is widely recognized by his stage name, Sly Stone. He is an influential American musician, songwriter, and record producer, renowned primarily for his role as the lead figure of Sly and the Family Stone. His innovative blend of soul, rock, psychedelia, and gospel during the 1960s and 1990s significantly contributed to the evolution of funk music. According to AllMusic, while James Brown may have been the originator of funk, Sly Stone is credited with its refinement, having produced a series of uplifting yet politically resonant records that left a profound impact on artists across diverse musical and cultural landscapes. Additionally, Crawdaddy has recognized him as the pioneer of progressive soul. Originating from Texas and later raised in the Bay Area of Northern California, Stone exhibited proficiency in multiple musical instruments from a young age and engaged in gospel performances alongside his siblings, Freddie and Rose, who would later become his bandmates. During the mid-1960s, he held dual roles as a record producer for Autumn Records and as a disc jockey at the San Francisco radio station KDIA. In 1966, Stone and his brother Freddie amalgamated their respective bands to establish Sly and the Family Stone, a pioneering ensemble characterized by its racial integration and mixed gender composition. The group achieved significant commercial success with hits such as Dance to the Music in 1968, Everyday People in 1968, Thank You Falla Teen Me, Be Mice Elf, Ogden in 1969, I Want to Take You Higher in 1969, Family Affair in 1971, and If You Want Me to Stay in 1973, alongside critically acclaimed albums like Stand in 1969, There's a Riot Going On in 1971 and Fresh in 1973. By the 1970s, Stone's substance abuse and unpredictable conduct led to the dissolution of the group, resulting in his subsequent release of several solo albums that did not achieve commercial success. In 1993, he was honored with induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the ensemble. He participated in a tribute to Sly and the Family Stone during the 2006 Grammy Awards, marking his first live performance since 1987. But after he relocated to the Los Angeles region in the autumn of 1969 with his band, Stone and his fellow band members developed a pronounced dependency on illicit substances, predominantly cocaine and PCP. As their preoccupation with substance consumption and socializing intensified, it was evidenced by Stone's habit of transporting a violin case filled with narcotics. Also, the progress in their recording efforts diminished considerably. During the period from the summer of 1969 to the Thoth-E fall of 1971, the band managed to release only a single, Thank You Falatini, Be Mice, Elf Agin, and Everybody is a Star, which came out in December 1969. Sly Stone has revealed that it took several emergency hospital visits before he heeded the final warnings from medical professionals regarding his lifestyle choices. He recounted that he ceased using illegal substances in 2019, having relied on them as a coping mechanism throughout much of his career. This pivotal decision came after he experienced a fourth health crisis over several years. Stone recounted to The Guardian that doctors cautioned him that continued smoking could severely damage his lungs or even lead to death. Despite these warnings, he disregarded their advice, opting to leave the hospital against medical counsel and subsequently contacting his dealer upon returning home. By 2019, Stone remarked, "I made a decision. Based on my feelings, I took it seriously this time. Once I made that choice, everything fell into place." At the age of 80, the consequences of his lifestyle have become evident. He shows off when he says, "I experienced difficulties with my lungs, my voice, my hearing, and various other physical issues as well." Most importantly, Stone expressed that he lacks the strength to continue his musical endeavors, stating that while his challenges haven't prevented me from hearing music, they have hindered my ability to create it. He further noted, "I can still hear music in my mind." Number 13, Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Noel. Hill was born on May 26, 1975. She was a multifaceted American artist, recognized as a rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer, and actress. She is frequently acknowledged for her role in dismantling obstacles for women in rap, as well as for her contributions to the popularization of melodic rap and the establishment of neo-soul within mainstream music. Hill has been honored as one of NPR's 50 Great Voices and was included in Rolling Stone's list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. In 2015, Billboard designated her as the greatest female rapper. Her impressive collection of accolades includes 8 Grammy Awards, marking her as the female rapper with the highest number of these prestigious honors. Hill commenced her professional journey as a teenage actress, securing a role in the soap opera As the World Turns in 1991. She also appeared in the off-Broadway production Club 12, performing alongside MC Lyte. Her portrayal of Rita in Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, released in 1993, received significant acclaim. Hill subsequently rose to fame as the lead vocalist of the hip-hop group Fugees, which she co-founded in 1990 with Wyclef Jean and Pras. Their sophomore album, The Score, released in 1996, achieved the #1 position on the Billboard 200 chart, making Hill the first female recipient of the Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. This album featured popular tracks such as Killing Me Softly, Fujila, and Ready or Not. As a solo artist, she made her initial guest appearance on Nas's 1996 single, If I Ruled the World, Imagine That. Following the Fugees' breakup in 1997, Hill took on the roles of writer, producer, and director for the music video of Aretha Franklin's A Rose is Still a Rose. And she also co-produced Whitney Houston's album, My Love Is Your Love. At one stage in her life, she ventured into the realm of Hollywood. However, this seems to be the sole highlight in a career overshadowed by a series of challenges, including a lawsuit, damaged vocal cords, paranoia, erratic behavior, inconsistent musical output, allegations of tax evasion, the demands of motherhood because she is now the mother of 6, substance abuse, tumultuous relationships, an intense religious fixation, and even episodes of mental breakdown. The list of difficulties she has faced is reportedly even more extensive. It has been suggested that the pressures of a superstar lifestyle and the relentless scrutiny that accompanies it were detrimental to Lauren, leading to decades marked by her struggle to navigate fame, maintain stable relationships, manage her emotions, and reconcile her faith. Number 14. Etta James. Originally born as Jamesetta Hawkins, she came into the world on January 25, 1938, and passed on January 20th, 2012. She was widely recognized by her stage name, Etta James. She was an influential American singer and songwriter whose artistic repertoire spanned multiple genres, including gospel, blues, jazz, R&B, rock and roll, and soul. Beginning her professional journey in 1954, she achieved significant acclaim with notable tracks such as The Wallflower, At Last, Tell Mama, Something's Got a Hold on Me, and I'd Rather Go Blind. Throughout her life, she encountered numerous personal challenges, including struggles with heroin addiction, experiences of severe physical abuse, and periods of incarceration. However, she made a remarkable return to the music scene in the late 1980s with her album, 7-Year Itch. By the mid-1960s, James had developed a heroin addiction, leading her to engage in various illegal activities such as writing bad checks, forging prescriptions, and stealing from acquaintances to support her habit. In 1966, she faced legal consequences for her actions when she was arrested for issuing fraudulent checks, resulting in probation and a $500 fine. And in 1969, her failure to adhere to the terms of her probation led to a 10-day incarceration. Throughout the early 1970s, James continued to grapple with legal issues stemming from her addiction, frequently entering and exiting rehabilitation facilities, including the Tarzana Treatment Centers in Los Angeles, California. During this delicate period, her husband, Artis Mills, took the blame when both were apprehended for heroin possession, ultimately serving a 10-year prison sentence before his release in 1981. By 1973, James faced arrest due to heroin possession. The following year, she was given a sentence that mandated illegal substance rehabilitation rather than incarceration. During her time in treatment, she developed a methadone addiction, often combining it with heroin. At the age of 36, she spent 17 months at the Tarzana Psychiatric Hospital, where she encountered significant challenges at the onset of her treatment. In her autobiography, Rage to Survive, published in 1995, she reflected on how her experience in the hospital profoundly transformed her life. Nevertheless, after completing her rehabilitation, her struggles with substance abuse persisted, particularly following the onset of a relationship with a man who was also engaged in substance use. Now, the one last person you never expected. Number 15, Billie Holiday. Various sources indicate that she began her heroin use in the early 1940s while married to Monroe. In 1947, she faced arrest on illegal substance-related charges, resulting in several months of incarceration for possession. 2 years later, law enforcement apprehended her again for illegal substance offenses. By the 1950s, the impact of her struggles with substance abuse and alcohol was evident, adversely affecting both her vocal abilities and professional trajectory. Despite these challenges, she managed to release a few additional albums and embarked on a European tour in 1954, although her issues ultimately prevailed. In May 1959, feeling unwell, she was admitted to a hospital in New York, where she received a diagnosis of cirrhosis of the liver. This is evidence of the kind of life she lives. Even in her deteriorating health, she was unable to break free from her heroin addiction, leading to her arrest for substance possession in her hospital room that June. However, she never faced trial for these charges. On July 17, 1959, she passed away at the age of 44. Billie Holiday, a monumental figure in jazz history, infused her performances with deep emotional resonance, rendering each song uniquely hers through her signature approach. Born on April 7, 1915, she famously remarked, "If I'm going to sing like someone else, then I don't need to sing at all." Holiday regarded her voice as an instrument in its own right, articulating this perspective in Hear Me Talkin' to Ya by Nat Shapiro and Nat Hentoff. "I feel like I am playing a horn. I try to improvise. What comes out is what I feel." Billie Holiday not only captivated audiences with her extraordinary vocal talent, but also led a life replete with remarkable highs and lows. She endured a challenging upbringing, often placed in the care of unfeeling relatives, and even spent time in a Catholic reform school before reuniting with her mother in New York City. Before achieving recognition as a singer, Holiday resorted to various means to survive, including a period of prostitution. She ultimately emerged as one of the prominent figures in jazz, collaborating with renowned musicians such as Count Basie and Artie Shaw. Additionally, she made an appearance in a film alongside Duke Ellington. Unfortunately, her immense talent was later overshadowed by tumultuous relationships and struggles with alcohol and substance abuse. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.